Hey Zen friends, welcome to Cancer Sun season and happy birthday to all you Cancer Sun babies. In this video, we'll talk about what energy the Cancer Sun brings in for you, and we'll also have a tarot and oracle card reading to see what Spirit wants you to know. Plus, there is a bonus card for each individual zodiac sign on what area of your life can use some grounding or self-care. Let's jump in. In astrology, Cancer season, which typically runs from around June 20th, 21st to July 20th, 21st, it's a time when the sun transits through the sign of Cancer, a cardinal water sign known for its deep connection to emotions, intuition, and the divine feminine. Ruled by the moon, Mother Luna, she also introduces the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere and the winter solstice in the southern hemisphere. I actually have 4 separate solstice videos for each of the group of elements of the zodiac, which will have a special oracle for each separate sign as well within that element, so that you get a special message for each zodiac sign. The link for these videos is listed in the description box below, and I'll have it linked at the end of this video as well. It'll just be solstice readings. All right, well, let's look at some practical tips for working with this Cancer season energy. So number 1, nurture yourself. Cancer season is a time to prioritize self-care. Mother Luna, Mother Nurture, of course. Take time for introspection, engage in self-love, practices like mindful eating, and celebrate your identity. 2, connect with your inner child. Embody the archetype of the mother and connect with your inner child through healing meditations, acknowledging and nurturing your younger self's needs. Number 3 is ground yourself. Cancer is a water sign, so connect with water through moonlit baths, spending time near water, bodies of water as well, or incorporating water-based rituals into your routine during the season. Number 4, embrace your emotional nature. Cancer season brings a surge of emotional energy, so acknowledge your feelings, practice mindful communication, and create a safe space for yourself to express emotions. Number 5, nurture your home and family. Home and family are central to Cancer energy. It's over the 4th house, which Cancer rules over. So spend some time with loved ones. Create a warm and inviting atmosphere. Focus on cultivating a sense of security and belonging. Number 6, engage in community. Cancer season encourages us to tap into our empathic nature and thus our empathetic nature and become more involved in our communities, particularly in areas of education, equity, and student success. Number 7, practice mindfulness. Tune into your senses and connect with the present moment through mindful eating, meditation, or simply taking deep breaths, doing some breath work. Number 8, set intentions. Define your goals for this season and focus on creating a life that aligns with your values and your aspirations. What makes your heart sing? What makes it want to dance? Look into those things. And lastly, track your progress. Maintain an astrology journal to track your thoughts, your emotions, and achievements throughout this season. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, does change signs about once a year, and it just moved into Cancer on June 10th. And Jupiter in Cancer signifies increased emotional intelligence, nurturing relationships, and an extra focus on home and family life. So it can bring abundance and expansion through compassion, caregiving, and creating a sense of belonging. However, it also requires mindful boundaries to avoid overindulgence and emotional exhaustion. And Mercury also moved into Cancer on June 8th, but it will move into Leo on June 26th. So its influence will change, but all of this does show us that there is a bit of focus on expanding and sharing emotional energy right now and through this Cancer season. So I hope all this information helps make your path easier as we embrace the watery Cancer sign energy. Now, let's see what messages Spirit has for us through the tarot and the oracle. Don't forget, there's a bonus card for each individual zodiac sign at the end on what area of your life can use some self-nurturing. So let's dive in. All right, let's see what they want us to know here. We've got 3 oracle that we're going to pull from first, and then we're going to do a special spread here called the Insects spread. And then we'll move into the tarot for the individual readings and guidance for each individual zodiac sign. So let's start in here. We have the Spirit Animal Oracle. So let's see what Spirit wants us to know, what Spirit Animal wants to come in for us to tell us about what to look out for this season. So they already have made themselves known. They didn't have to do a whole lot of work. Wow. All right. So we're jumping right in, and we have the Grasshopper. Grasshopper Spirit, card number 30. Beautiful, beautiful colors. Take a leap of faith. Ooh, all right. So we'll put that up here. And let's see what comes in here. What message comes in with taking a leap of faith? You know, the grasshopper, if you grew up in my generation, we had a movie called Kung Fu. It had David Carradine. It was a weekly TV series where he was a Buddhist monk that went out to the United States to search the world after he walked on the rice paper. But they used to call him Grasshopper. That's what I always remember whenever I hear that. Anyway, this says about taking a leap of faith and says right now you're poised to jump into the next level of your life and move forward into something even better than you could have ever imagined. When Grasshopper Spirit appears, it is a fortuitous time to take a leap into the unknown. For Grasshopper Spirit represents the innovative spirit that says, why not? And has faith in the powers of co-creation. So you're being called to trust that this is the right time to go with that idea, that relationship, or that situation. Take risks, for abundance in all forms will show up for you. Wondrous things await when Grasshopper Spirit appears. You're not going to go backward, so listen to your intuition rather than your fearful ego that resists any change and clings worriedly to what was. Luck is on your side. Jump up and forward with confidence, for Spirit has so much in store for you if only you take that leap. So this next season, it's about what's holding you back. Why aren't you, living your dream? Why aren't you taking a step forward? Share with someone how you feel. What's the worst that could happen? They don't feel the same way? Well, then you stop pining for someone, and it opens the door for someone who is, and a relationship that's more in alignment with who you are, or a situation with a job or a position or whatever it may be that you're looking at. This is the time of growth. This is the time of stepping forward. Now, these do have protection messages. I like to read them in case they resonate. Says, is it hard for you to trust in good fortune because you've been hurt in the past when you took a risk? Staying earthbound does not offer the safety you seek, for that can be found only through trusting that Spirit is always with you and wants the best for you. Your intuition is guidance from Spirit, telling you to let go of your fears and leap into the abundance and good fortune awaiting you. Grasshopper Spirit reminds you that the only way now is to jump forward. Can you be willing to trust the universe, the great mystery that you can't fully understand? Even if you take the teeniest leap in consciousness to be willing, it's a beautiful beginning. Sure, every leap forward brings a new challenge, but you can handle it with Spirit as your partner, trusting that this new experience will only deepen your life with magic and meaning. Take the leap! Exclamation. I like that. Beautiful, beautiful energy. Next, we will pull a card here from the Seeker Oracle and see what else they want you to know here for this Cancer season. All right. Yeah, we're not... there's a lot coming for you, that's for sure. Let's see what specific message they have for us. All right. All right, there it goes. Just falling right out of the deck here. Know your labels. I love this. Crow here with a little heart. Yeah, it's showing the heart there. So know your labels. We're going to put it this way. And let's see what that brings in here. Humans are multifaceted beings. We have more facets to our nature and personality than the Drakven has scales and feathers. To some, the Drakven is a divine messenger, while others see him as a demonic being. Who can say that either label is accurate? Nobody but the Drakven. It's Drakven. So no one but the Drakven himself knows for certain. So the Drakven says that some of his labels are he, him, dragon, chimera, harbinger, messenger, guide, celestial, magical, divine, ancient, creative, innovative, critical, impatient, noisy, stubborn, gregarious, insistent, persistent, demanding, devious, manipulative, cunning, and absent-minded. And the list is incomplete. Forever changing, Drakven is more than the labels he has offered. And if you've noticed, some of the labels he embraces are negative or perceived as negative, right? Drakven chooses to be truthful about his nature, for the Drakven is also whole, authentic, and honest. He explores his nature, he knows his strengths and weaknesses, he accepts that he has a shadow side, that he's a little bit naughty and not always nice. He always knows that he is predominantly kind and gentle. And Drakven knows his labels, and that makes him powerful. He knows who he is, and because he knows who he is, his feathers do not get ruffled when others try to define him or limit him. He understands that there are times when the labels others use to define him are accurate, but also that they are not all he is. By knowing his labels, Drakven knows he will never be what others expect him to be. He will always be more. Do you know your labels? It's a great awareness. Do you know who you really are? And that we're so much more than this human character. This is one small piece of who we are and a small part of our expression. We're a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love, right? This endlessness. We've been so many beings and expressions across many dimensions, across many universes and worlds and frequencies. We've been in many places being many things. And what's great with all that is that at our core, that's what we come down to experience different vibrations. And here, humanity is one of the lower vibration experiences, and we experience a lot of who we're not, so we understand more of who we are. And so this is discovering who we are. And during this Cancer season, I feel like a part of what's unfolding is you're able to embrace your shadow. A lot of times in spirituality, we're kind of taught, destroy your ego, destroy your shadow. It must be eliminated. But our higher self completes our shadow, completes our ego. So it doesn't need to be destroyed. It is embraced by our higher self. And the more we understand that every part of who we are is perfect and for this adventure, and as we embrace it and stop resisting who we are, we can walk hand in hand with our higher selves and our human side of us into new adventures together, joined together in unity instead of trying, having this inner conflict of trying to destroy who we're told we're not supposed to be, right? So I love that coming in here for us. And then the last oracle before we go into this other spread is actually Healing the Inner Child oracle. And these had already been picked before I was like doing the introduction and finding out more about the Cancer energy and how we can do it. And one of the things was embracing your inner child. So we have the Healing the Inner Child oracle. So perfect for this energy. Let's take a look here and see what else they have for us. All right, right off the bat again. So they were really ready to talk to us today. And we have abandonment. Yeah. Card number 7. And there's the beautiful moon. Cancer moon energy. We'll put that down here. Scooch that over. Let's see what message comes in here around abandonment. So we all come into the world with 3 questions and 2 needs. Ooh, interesting. So these questions are, am I wanted? Am I safe? Do I matter? Wow. And the 2 needs are attachment and authenticity. In order to survive, most of us sacrifice being authentic, right? Knowing who we truly are. Being connected to our feelings and the sense of what is right for us. We numbed ourselves because we needed to stay connected at any cost to our caregiver, even if they were abusive. A child will do anything to belong, and most often that involves giving up their sense of self. What saves us as an infant and young child becomes what disconnects us from ourselves and others as adults. Creating a more joyful and empowered experience starts with locating the source of these wired survival mechanisms that served a purpose for a time, but are now holding you captive. The moment you bring awareness to these prior patterns, you begin to change. This card confirms that it is time for you to bring awareness and compassion to your abandonment wounds. Wow. The inner child brings a message. What did you give up as a child to survive in your family? Did you tone your feelings down? Did you become a rebel or a good girl? Recall a moment when you felt abandoned, alone, or misunderstood, and invite your adult self to be with your inner child. Offer your loving presence and be curious about how they feel. Safety is not the absence of danger. It is the experience of being held and connected with another. Offer yourself this safety now. Say to your inner child, you are wanted. You matter. I will never leave you alone. Wow, that's powerful. And then they give you a journey. It says, let's identify places in which you are still abandoning yourself in your adult life. Each time you say yes when you mean no is a clue to a wired survival mechanism from childhood. Every time you fight, flee, numb out, or appease is a clue. Be gentle and patient with yourself as you witness yourself giving up your preference and needs. Pay attention to moments when you attempt to deal with uncomfortable feelings with food, shopping, media, or mind-altering substances. When you notice fears of being alone or abandonment, we invite you to pause and check in with your body. Be present to the sensations that arise. Use the technique shared in the safety card in this deck, card number 3. The safety card is a wonderful companion to place next to this card as you integrate its medicine. Each time you notice fear or anxiety around abandonment, offer yourself compassion and understanding. Breathe and remember it is normal to feel this way. All of us feel fear around disconnection. It's true. Trust that having awareness of the reason for these unconscious responses is a powerful step in shifting the pattern. Self-knowledge clarifies the lens through which you see the inner and outer worlds, and it gives you the power to change. All right, so use the technique shared in card number 3. So let's do that. And I'm just going to read all of 3 to see what it has here for us. So we're going to honor that. Many of us did not feel safe growing up. You might have experienced unsafe physical or emotional environments. There might not have been an adult you could go to when you were in distress. And as a result, you may spend most of your life reacting to potential invisible threats, which exhausts your nervous system. We cannot access our sense of joy, belonging, and connection when our survival brain is activated. So if you drew this card, take a moment to assess if you need a glass of water, some food, a warm blanket, or a sweater. Tend to these needs first. Are you comfortable right now? Look around you. Are you safe from danger? Check in with your toes, your legs, and your breath. This card invites you to soothe your nervous system and offer yourself support so that with time and repetition, you feel safer with your feelings. Wow. The inner child brings in the questions. Can you recall a moment in your childhood when you felt completely safe and trusting, like the child in the image? I guess we'll have to find the image. Let's do that right now. Let's find number 3. Because, oh yeah, right off the bat. Boom, boom, boom. So we have safety. Beneath the tree, sitting amongst all the sheep here. We'll put them right next to each other here. So do you feel completely safe like that, safe and trusting like that child in the image? Allow yourself to revisit that memory. And if nothing comes to mind where you felt that way, we invite you to visit this image and imagine yourself as that child. Feel the support of the tree, the warm, soft breeze, and the peacefulness of the scene. Engage all of your senses as you breathe, focusing on lengthening the exhalation. And then say out loud, we are safe. This is safe. And then the journey that it talks about, this I think is the technique that they were talking about. Bring your hands behind your neck. And just like the child in the image, and interlace your fingers and lean back. Without turning your head, look to your left with your eyes, looking as far left as you can, and breathe. And once you feel the body release in some way, whether it's a yawn, a sound, a sigh, or swallowing, bring your eyes all the way to the right and breathe deeply. Wait for a release on this side, and then come back to center and inhale deeply. Hold the breath for a moment and exhale as you release your arms. Use this technique anytime you want to bring yourself back into a state of presence and calm. Beautiful. I love that they give us tools to be able to use the most of this energy. So let's scooch these a little bit this way as we dive in next into what they call the insect spread. It is from this wonderful deck here, Seasons of the Witch series, and this is the Litha Oracle, which is summer, and they have spreads within them, and one of the spreads is this insect spread. So we'll shuffle these up, and there's a total of 5 cards. So the first one is what problem or situation needs your immediate attention during this Cancer season. All right, so we'll start off there. What problem or situation? Okay, so that'll be number 1. Number 2 is why have you avoided dealing with this problem? All right, let's take a look here. Why have we avoided it? All right, this is the one here. And then number 3 is what will happen if you continue to do nothing or nothing. All right. Yeah, I feel like this is number 3. And then we go into number 4, which is how can you resolve this issue? And then lastly, how can you prevent this from happening again? All right, there we go. So we'll put those there, and we'll start here. So what problem or situation needs your immediate attention during Cancer season? The horse, of course. Got card number 18. I love these cards. Unsure of how to break out of your cage, Spirit shares strength through acts of liberation. Yeah, this feeling of being trapped, being restricted by your this definition of who you think you're supposed to be, right? I do feel like there's this message that's coming in through all this stuff about being true to your authentic self. So the key words here are freedom, regality, confidence, and strength. Horses are meant to be wild and free, which is why they are such powerful creatures that are capable of running for long distances and over different terrain. It's not uncommon to hear tales of having to break a horse when attempting to domesticate a wild one. How sad it must be for a horse to go from roaming endless landscapes to be confined to a small box inside a barn. If a horse remains bound for long enough, it may fail to see when the opportunity presents itself to run back into the wild. When the horse card gallops into your reading, it could be a sign that your spirit is broken and you've lost your sense of regality and strength. You may feel stuck, stagnant, bored, or stuck in a rut, unsure of how to break out of your cage to find more passion and excitement. Dig deep and reconnect with your sense of freedom. Remove the shoulds and supposed to do's from your perspective and follow your heart and instincts. The beauty about being free is that you can change your mind if you go one way and find that doesn't work. Simply shift directions and try something else. Never apologizing for not being caged. I like that. Yeah, so the situation, this feeling of being caged by the supposed to be's, the should be's, the need to be's, the have to be's, all those expectations that every child has put on them, almost every child, unless you are like given to a Buddhist monastery when you're a baby and you never experience, those types of things because they have different kind of attitudes towards life. But most of us have that big, cage that's built around us. So all these expectations around things, and this is about breaking free from those cages. So why have you avoided dealing with this problem? Number 2, the farmer's market. That's interesting. Card number 9. Remember to distinguish abundance from wholeness. Choose wisely and intentionally. We'll read from the book here, but as soon as I got that, one of the messages that comes through a lot is like when we're looking for our self-worth, self is self, right? Inward and upward is where we find our self-worth, the definition of who we really are, our self-love. When we're told to look to the outside world for our self-worth, that's not self-worth, that's retail price. This farmer's market, how much do you feel you are worth to individuals out there? Well, usually we end up on the clearance rack, right? So this is finding the definition of yourself from the inward and upward. So I love that. Let's see what else they have to say here. This is abundance of choices, farm to table, source to spirit. So there is something magical about seasonal eating and living farm to table. Food is never fresher than when it's pulled directly from the earth. Sadly, many of us do not have access to our own gardens, but fortunately, farmers' markets are becoming more common as people seek to return to a slower way of living. Each market offers far more than your traditional grocery store, from heirloom varieties to unique hybrids created by knowledgeable farmers. There are many paths for your question or situation, but not all paths will lead to success. Each option offers a different flavor and may prove to be something you don't enjoy. Choose carefully, being mindful that the option that appears to be perfect may be hiding something underneath, such as a perfectly formed tomato with a worm inside. When you're faced with an overwhelming amount of choices, lean on your higher self to guide you to the right answer, right? inward and upward to our true worth, where we're found to be priceless, not outside world, where we feel it's constantly changing and fickle. It's seasonal, right? We end up on a clearance rack when you're a coat and summer comes. Your spirit is connected to Source, God, the greater intelligence, or any other name you use to identify the divine. The answer is always available to you, but sometimes your ego attempts to rationalize choices that should be made from your heart and soul. You may wish to spend time in meditation or communing with the earth in stillness for more guidance, or consider using the farmer's market spread in the Litha card spreads chapter for expanded awareness. Well, maybe we'll have to try that this summer too. So it says, check in with spirit prompt. So this journaling prompt is one that I often go back to when I need to check in with my spirit and quiet the noise in my mind so I can allow spirit to lead me. For this exercise, you'll need some paper and a pen or pencil. So prepare by finding a quiet space and calming your mind. Take a few deep breaths, and when you're ready, ask your question and allow yourself to write out all the thoughts that come to mind, even the unrelated ones. Once you have done that, go to a different page, ask again, and this time add, "Only my spirit may guide me." Without forcing thoughts in, allow yourself to record what naturally wants to be shared. Wow. So I love that. So definitely, this energy of being trapped and what have you avoided because you don't know who you are. And so you don't know that you have the power to be whatever you want to be. So we stay caged, right? So I like this. What will happen if you continue to do nothing? Dun, dun, dun. You have sun magic. 37. Don't allow the power of your light to scare you into dimming yourself. Yes. Right? That's what happens when we don't know who we are. I think I even mentioned one of these cards about shrinking and dimming yourself, that's what happens. If I don't break out of the cage, then I don't feel like I can be true to my authentic self. I dim my light. I ask permission to shine, and I'm told no, and then I dim my light. So you're not able to be that bright light that you came here to be. And then you feel even more trapped and restricted. Life, energy, vitality, energy. So you're coming into great alignment with your soul, and as a result, you are literally shining brighter than ever before. You will be through this Cancer season because you're going to be going through all this, right? Your energy and vitality are slowly growing, and you may even experience physical bursts of energy when this card comes into your reading. Your vibration is rising, and you're pulling yourself out of the shadows you've recently experienced. If you're inquiring about a situation or a recent challenge, pulling this card is your welcome sign that not only are things coming to a close, but you will be victorious. As a symbol of growth, this card invites you to be noticed. Don't be afraid to let other people experience your energy. It's a positive card for those wishing to be in the public eye, as it means you will be well received, and more than that people are already looking to you for guidance. The shadow side of this card is the pressure to be all things for all people. Know that sharing your light does not mean you have to be on constant display. You are allowed to keep some things to yourself, and no one should have total access to your energy, especially not for free. Don't be afraid to charge for what your energy and time are worth, which is true whether you are selling something physical, such as a product or a service, or in your personal life among your family and friends. Relationships should be give and take. It's not your responsibility to loan your light to other people. They must learn to activate their own light so you can both bask in glory. Wow. I love that. All right. And then how can you resolve this issue? Right? Heather, card number 14, which says, "You are worthy, my dear. Silence the noise that strips you of your peace. Wow. So the worthiness, we are talking about here, you're worthy to be true to your authentic self. We need your light to shine. That's why you came here. You came here to experience what it might feel like to dim your light and to be less than. But when you're tired of that and you're ready, boom, here it comes, right? So card 14, let's see what we have here. Keywords are peace of mind, protection of dreams, worthy of admiration. So rest easy, my dear. Your dreams are protected. You may have felt worried that your plans have been foiled or that a recent bout of competition is going to derail your success. There's no cause to fear this recent attack because, although annoying, it is confirmation that you are worthy of admiration, and those attempting to defeat you are projecting their own insecurities and fears that your light will dim theirs. Pay no attention to the noise unless they are absolutely negative. Then you may have to stand up for yourself here and there, but otherwise, much of what you are experiencing is a whole lot of bark and no bite. Do not let anyone else's criticism plant doubt in what you have worked so hard to achieve. Keep your mind trained on your vision. Establish boundaries and remember that you have gotten yourself this far and you can go as far as you dare. If you're experiencing doubts, you can always try on someone's comments to see if they hold any truth. To do so is a healthy form of self-awareness as long as you do it with honesty. If for some reason you do find a criticism to be true, know that it is well within your ability to confront and overcome any perceived shortcomings. All people have faults, but that doesn't mean those faults have to prevent you from achieving your goals. Thank the naysayers for bringing this to your attention, and then do what you do best. Evolve. I like that. So you're realizing, and we recognize or perceive faults and failures based on all those expectations we were talking about. We're given a lot of supposed to be, should be, need to be, have to be, must be, all these expectations, which are opinion. And of course, there's tons and tons, millions, as many people as there's different opinions across the entire world, right? And no one can live up to anyone's expectations for their entire life, or everyone's expectations in a single second, because they're all contradictory and they're constantly changing. And sometimes people don't even know what they have an expectation until you don't live up to it and they have this disappointing feeling. But this is about the freedom from that and realizing that you don't have to try to make everyone else happy, that you return back to you transform these fears, these small t truths rooted in fear, these opinions, realizing you have the power to choose what something means, what story you apply to something. We were given a lot of stories about when that happens, this is what it means, but that's just an opinion. That's one story, but you can do alternate meanings, alternate endings, so you get to choose that. So I love that. All right, and then the last card. How can you prevent this from happening again? You've got Roses, card number 30, which says, the soft petal fell upon your flesh is ready to release her horns. I think we had card over 30 over here too. Yeah, the grasshopper was card number 30. So let's take a look here. This 3 coming in here as well. 3 plus 0, of course, is 3. So we've got this 3 energy. All right. So this is divine love. How can you prevent this from happening again? Connecting to the divine love that's within you. Also lasting relationships and support. Few symbols represent love more than the rose. Its delicate petals in pretty shades meet prickly thorns and sturdy stems, much like love in the real sense. A rose is beauty intertwining with the occasional pain, all in an enduring dance of sharing your life with another. Roses in your spread symbolize an eternal love that has the potential to stand the test of time. It may not be fast or especially passionate, but it is solid and supportive, affectionate, and endearing. It's the kind of love that reinvents itself. There you go. Reinventing yourself, who you really are. Or not really so much reinventing as removing the obstacles of remembering who you really are. All those expectations that created boundaries between us seeing the clarity of who we really are. People trying to tell us who we were growing up, right? It's the kind of love that reinvents itself like a rose turning into a dried flower and expressing its beauty in a completely new way. And if you're in a relationship, your partner is reliable and prefers to express themselves in practical ways rather than grand romantic gestures. They're more likely to fill your car with gas or take out the trash than to whisk you away to Paris, but you'll never have to question their loyalty. If you're seeking love, this card reminds you to consider someone who may not be the most attractive or interesting, but will be a soft place for you to land and rest your head through the good times and bad. Really, the love you're looking for is inside of you anyway. No one in the outside world can give you that divine love that you're looking for because that human has all those roles, all those long list of expectations. So turning inward and upward, you find the love that you are, that fills you up. Then the love you get from the outside world is above and beyond extra. So the world does convert from a place of lacking and falling short to a place of abundance. And then we'll do here releasing Rose Bagno, which I think is about a bath, but it says, actually, let me finish. I didn't finish the top here. I got off on my own little channeling. So if your reading is about someone outside of a romantic relationship, receiving this card is confirmation of their devotion to you or a sign that they're okay and you don't have to worry about them. They will find the help and support they need. The same can be said for you if you're experiencing difficult times. Help is on the way in the form of a supporter, a supportive friend, a mentor, or a family member. Wow. And then the releasing Rose Bagno. It says, Rose is a powerful nurturer, and a simple rose bath to help you release what is no longer serving you while gently embracing you is perfect when you draw this card. And this Cancer moon energy is Mother Moon energy, so nurturing. So you'll need a red candle, a handful of rose petals, and 1 tablespoon of honey. Fill the bath and light the candle. While doing so, think of the scent of roses. Sprinkle the rose petals slowly over the bath water. Then get into the bath and take a moment to ground into the warmth of the water spirit embracing you. The rose kissing your flesh and the scent of the rose filling your spirit. When you are ready, pour the honey into the bath water and ask honey to bring sweetness into your bath experience. Allow Rose to gently travel with you into the emotions, thoughts, or spaces you wish for her to guide you with. Wow, I love that. Yeah, so this journey of this month, about a month for the Cancer season, has to do with the self-identity and stepping outside of that and embracing who you really are, giving yourself this love that's within you. You deserve that love first. It's like being on an airplane. You put the oxygen mask on you first. You give yourself the self-love first. You fill up and it overflows out to the world. We even got rose quartz here, just by chance. I love this for you. All right, well, stick around. We're about to jump into the specific one-card readings for each individual zodiac sign to give you a little bit of a even more specific reading for your sign. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We're going to dive deep into each one of these. I will put timestamps down below, so if you need to jump to your specific sign, or you want to look at your sun sign, your rising sign, your moon, or a specific planet, all of that energy will apply to whatever part of your life that you're looking to, whatever planet rolls over that part of your life. You can use any of those. So I'll have those down below. All right, and there'll just be one card, a little more clarification for the next 30 days or so for this Cancer season. All right, so let's dive in. We will start here. Let's start with, since it is Cancer season, we'll start with Cancer sign. So we'll give you your first card there, which I feel is this one. All right. And then let's go water signs. I do feel like we've got Scorpio here, and then Pisces. All right. And then I feel like we're drawn to Taurus. So let's do Taurus next. So Taurus, we've got you here. And then the other earth signs, we've got Virgo and then Capricorn. Well, you actually get 2 Capricorn. Interesting. All right. And then let's go here to Gemini. I feel we're drawn to next. And then the other air signs, which we have Libra and then Aquarius. All right. And then lastly, but not leastly, let's start off here. I know Aries, you usually get to go first, the beginning of the alphabet, like in school. But we're going to go Leo. Okay, we've got, here we go. So we've got Leo, Sagittarius, and then last but not least, Aries. All right. Let's jump in here and see what we have going on here. I will go in order now, just for the sake of timestamps. So Aries, for Cancer season, you do have the 10 of Wands. So here's all this fiery energy coming in. 10 of Wands is a card of analyzing or being aware of the energy where you're investing it. And so during this period, it is a change of where you're investing your energy and a recalibration. So instead of, investing in 10 different things, you're really whittling it down to discover what is truly urgent and truly important to you. That becomes number one. Then when those things are done, then those things that are truly important to you but not urgent, those are the things that you could have put on your calendar that they don't need to be done today. But you can eventually get to those. Then you invest your energy in those next. And then those things that are not important to you, but are screaming, I'm urgent, those you put in a third bucket. And you don't really need to act on those because they're not important to you, right? They'll either take care of themselves or they will, just not get done and fall away because it's not important. You don't have to have energy in it. I know in this day and age, we definitely have a society of everything is urgent, everything is important, everything must get done, but there's no way to do it, especially with as much as we're inundated with, globally and, connected to everything. It's like, no, we can try to simplify and find out what is truly urgent and what is truly important to you. So this not 6 months, this period of time here with the solstice, for in the solstice readings, check those out. But also the these 30 days that we're going to have for this specific Cancer season is this recalibration. And then definitely check out the solstice readings because I do feel like in the fire energy that it'll give you more guidance on where that's going to lead to the 2 months after it too. So all those links are down in the description box for those. It's a playlist about solstice readings. All right, so that's what they have for you, Aries. And then Taurus, you're up next. You've got the 7 of Cups. So a lot of clarity that'll be coming in around the different emotions that you're feeling over these next 30 days. There is this, of course, Taurus energy is enjoying the senses. So it's not sensual as far as like taste and sound and the 5 senses. This is all emotional based. All this variety of emotion to feel and to figure out what it is you're feeling and do you want to continue to feel those things. And if you don't, you have that power of emotional choice. We come down here to feel all emotions, even lower vibration. But to know that there's always a second choice, a higher vibration choice, if we want to, allows us not to feel so trapped in lower vibrational emotions like sadness and resentment and pain and suffering, we can actually see and feel a different experience when we're ready. And there's no wrong choice. There's no wrong emotion, just different emotional choices that bring different outcomes and different experiences. When you're tired of feeling a certain way, you can turn it like a channel, turn it to something else, and you have that ability and that power to do that. So this next 30 days or so, that's going to be this really transformation of your emotional power. All right. So that's what they have for you, Taurus. And then we move, of course, into Gemini. You've got the Four of Pentacles, solid foundation in the outside world. Really, this is quite a bit of the energy we had from the collective reading, because the Four of Pentacles teaches us that when we are born, and a lot of us are given the how to define yourself is looking into those three buckets of the outside world: relationships with human beings, situations like jobs, education, social status, and the things, our bodies, our bank accounts, our possessions. And this Four Pentacles teaches us that all those things are unstable, and when we define ourselves by those, we feel unstable, and then we move inward and upward to find that amazing, powerful, eternal, unconditional love, and then we define ourselves by that, because outside world, people change, people walk away, people pass away, unstable, right? Situations, jobs, education, all that never stays the same. Things break down, deteriorate, blow up, burn down, stolen, right? So all those things in that realm of the outside world are unstable. And so there's this great energy over these next 3 months that you're really getting this great grounding of who you really are, because you're turning inward and realizing, wow, that's the only place that you can find a stable foundation, stable definition of who you are. Self-worth, not retail price, right? I love that. All right, and then Cancer, sun babies, happy birthday again to you guys. Let's see what you have. You've got the Five of Pentacles, a great transformation regarding worth. These starts off with beliefs of fears of being left behind, fears of being abandoned, like that child card that we got. But, and not being enough, not having enough. But the Five of Pentacles is a great energy. So there's this transformation that happens where when we're believing that humanity is what brings us our sustenance in each moment, that's where we experience abandonment. Because the outside world, when a little inner child of a human feels unsafe and out of control, it will pull back everything. I need all the toys, right? That's the reactionary part of a human being. I need everything. I'm in survival mode. Give me everything. That's where we feel abandonment, because they're pulling everything back. But the Five of Pentacles brings you this beautiful energy of that it's the Creator that brings you everything you need in each moment. Creator is source. They have endless resources. They never go into fight or flight mode. They will not abandon us. They will always make sure we have everything we need in each moment and bring us our sustenance. And I like that transformation, because then you can build this trusting relationship with the Creator going, I do trust you. I trust your timing. I know that we may not have everything our ego wants us to have, but Creator will make sure we have everything we need, plus more. They not just going to bring you bread and water. They love us. They want to give us more, but they will always make sure we have enough. And I feel like over this next 30 days for your birthday season that you're going to really realize how supported you really are from the heavens. So I like that for you. All right. Then we move into Leo energy. So Leos, you've got the Six of Cups. Six of Cups does talk about relationships. It does talk about a few things, because this is a collective reading. You've got the first energy that really feels like it's rolling in with all of this, does have to do with people returning back from the past during these next 30 days. It doesn't mean that you have to get back together with people. It doesn't mean it's romantic. It can be this importance of relationship with people coming back into your life to resolve things, to release things so that you can move forward. So just be aware that this is some of that energy coming in the nurturing energy to be able to forgive for your own sake, right? Pouring out the cup, of wrath, because you're refusing to no longer be a vessel of pain because of someone else's actions or non-actions, their words or their silence. You're pouring it out so you can be a vessel of love so that you could eventually have that to offer someone instead of a cup of bitterness, right? There's also child energy here with the Six of Cups. So if some of you have been looking for having children enter your life in one way or another, here it comes. Buckle up, Buttercup. It's very ripe for you to be able to do this. Of course, disclaimer down in the description box. I am no medical doctor. So, of course, tarot's for fun. Definitely seek professional assistance, any of that stuff. There's also a great past life connection energy here. And I tell you what, last year humanity got 1% more access to the unconscious world, which gives us connection. It's one of the pathways to the Akashic records where we can access past life memories, past life emotions. And there is this great energy that comes in with us here. And it's like, oh my gosh, right? But this year, 1% more per month. That's why this year is going to be such an expansive time for humanity, because we're getting access to a lot of past life memories and emotions, and we're becoming aware of more and more past life connections we have with individuals. So here we go. Be prepared for that, right? All right. So this next 30 days is a combination of all those things, depending on, of course, where you're at in your life, but a lot happening emotionally. All right, which brings us to Virgo. Virgo, you got the Ace of Swords. Wow. So Ace of Swords, a lot of clarity coming in these next 3 days. The Ace of Swords is a gift from the heavens. It allows you this access to see things from a higher perspective. Virgo minds, getting out of your head so much connected to the lower vibrational fear world. And it's allowing to see things from a higher perspective, which allows you to cut away the small t truths rooted in fear. So I like this energy that's coming in here with all of this. So I like that that energy that's coming in. Also, let's see, what else are you doing? Oh, a lot of clarity coming in around things. Like you've been asking a lot of questions of the world, of creator, of spirit, of your life. And there's a lot of clarity that does come in this month to give you some new perspectives, a higher perspective from a place of unconditional love, enjoying laughter and peace and gratitude, rather than the lower vibration, which allows you to transform some low vibration beliefs into high vibration wisdom. And I love that for you. And that's all I have there for you, Virgo. So there you go. And then we go to the scales over here with Libra. And you guys have the Two of Cups coming in. So very much this energy. Yeah, even got Cancer sign energy. But this is this, the Two of Cups is like the Lover's card, where it's relationships are very important during this next 30 days for you. It can be love if you're looking for love. But it also is relationships with family, with friends, co-workers, your fur babies, feather babies, fin babies, or gill babies, and connection to your higher self in the spirit world. So relationship is very on focus here for you. You're going to have a lot of things come up to teach you great knowledge around relationships, but great opportunities of improved communication. As long as you're like some of what we were talking about in the collective readings is about being very clear about how you're communicating with others from that empathetic point of view, allows you to see people in a different way because you're not taking their actions as defining you. You're realizing every relationship is a mirror for you to show you how you feel about yourself, but also you're a mirror when people are looking at you. You have no idea what they're seeing, and they're seeing that reflection back there. But it's all about growth around not taking other people's actions or non-actions, their words or their silence personally, that you know their expression is about who they are, but your reaction to their actions or non-actions, their words or their silence, is for you, because all that's happening inside of you. But Libra, you're all about relationship energy. You know, you're wonderful, wonderful like 8th house. I think you're the 8th house, 7th house. No, you're the 7th house, right? Yep, 7th house of relationships and interactions and building relationships. So this is right up your alley. You're comfortable with this, but there's some great opportunities coming in for you. So I like that. All right. And then we move into Scorpio. Scorpio, you have the Chariot card. So again, ruled by Cancer and the moon. So, and you're a water sign. So this is right at home for you too. But this is the power of choice energy that comes in, showing you that you are in control, that you can't make choices for anyone else. And every moment you make 4 choices. The story you put to something with your mind, right? The emotions you choose to feel, the energy you're investing in drawing things towards you, and your physical actions too. Now, everyone's making those choices. You can't control what other people choose. So you take back all that power back to you and realize, I can only choose that for me, no one else, right? And so I really love this for you because there is this ability here of movement, of stepping into your power, of feeling like life is more victorious than that life is happening to you. You understand things are happening for you to show you the choices that can be made because you're given a lot of supposed to's, need to's, shoulds, a lot of expectations and a lot of opinion about what something is supposed to mean, how it's supposed to feel about it, the energy you're supposed to invest in it, the physical actions you're supposed to, quotes. Because we're given all that opinion growing up, but when you have these opportunities that come up these next 30 days, it's going to show you, wait a minute, is that the story that I want to put to this? It doesn't have to be. I can choose my own story. Is this the emotion I want to feel? No, I can choose something different. Is this what I want to draw in? No, I'm going to choose my attitude to gratitude and draw in different things instead of things I fear and hate, or my physical actions. So very much this awareness of your power of choice during these next 30 days. So I like that for you. All right. And then Sagittarius, you have the 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords is the thievery, the liar, the cheater, but it doesn't necessarily mean, especially with all this Cancer energy, here's the moon energy too, about turning inward and really looking at your own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that have cheated you out of opportunities, that have deceived you. And so during these 30 days, you're really realizing, a lot of that, like they're bringing back the collective reading about defining yourself is a lot of what this is. People telling you who you were supposed to be, and you're realizing, I don't have to be that. I want to be this. This is what you should do for your career. I don't want to do that. I want to do this. There's a lot of clarity, a lot of self-awareness that's coming in for you during these next 30 days that frees you. I always like the 7 of Swords because, we've got 2 swords. You're already aware of things that you've left behind. They're usually looking directly over here at these 3 swords, and these are the things you're becoming aware of right now that you're releasing, and there's just a couple more in the other hand that they're not looking at, which shows us that there's always something to be looked at and to be released in our lives because we're given so many expectations, so many rules growing up that there's a lot bubbling below the surface on autopilot, and this is when these things come flying up for us to look at, triggers happening. They're happening for you to be freed from them so that you can move forward. So I like that for you. That's the energy for the 30 days for you. All right, and then Capricorns, you got 2 cards. So you got, first up, you've got the 3 of Wands, which is a change of direction with new information. Yeah, that brings you to abundance here. So for you, there really is a lot of clarity coming in over these next 30 days on, the route that you've been told that you're supposed to go. With all this clarity that's coming in, your self-identity changes, all that stuff we talked about in the collective reading. This is leading you to something that feels expansive, feels rewarding. The wheels of fate are turning, but this is you actively choosing to go a different direction than you thought that you were supposed to go. New clarity that comes in during these next 30 days allows you to make decisions for you the Wheel of Fortune, the tuna for you, rather than trying to live up to these old rules and expectations that your brain thinks, well, this is what we need to do, and it's doing it out of fear. So I love this, your Capricorn energy of Saturn, really challenging your long-held thoughts, beliefs, and mindsets that allows you to move forward. You know that. This is your energy. You know that this is, you love your shadow work. You love doing the work. You love finding out what has worked, what hasn't, and unafraid to make change. You're very supported, and it actually does take you to something more fortunate. So don't hesitate to make change. No, it takes you to somewhere great. But you get a lot of clarity around this during this Cancer season. Which brings us to, whoops. Sorry, let me switch these around. A little out of order. Aquarius comes next, not Pisces. So there's a little switcheroo, very Aquarius energy, trying to do things differently. I'm an Aquarius sun, I get it. So Aquarius, what do we have for us? We got the Page of Pentacles. New opportunities that will make themselves known in this Cancer season. It's also about new ways of looking at your worth and relationship to the outside world. So part of that identity change that releases you, it brings you new opportunities that you wouldn't think that you had before. So there's a lot of clarity that comes in, and freedom that comes. Very rebel Aquarius energy, where it's like, yeah, the old ways don't work anymore. I'm ready for new ways. I'm ready to look at myself differently. I'm ready to jump at new opportunities. And it is an abundance type of energy, new abundance that comes in for you. Heightened abundance, next level abundance. Think of pages as like number 11s, because it comes right after the number 10, and then the Knight, and then the Queen, and the King. So there is this energy of announcing new worth, new abundance that's arriving. The pages were the hear ye, hear ye. So it's this announcement and this awareness that you're receiving more abundance. Like you might get a notification of a raise, inheritance or something that is coming your way. You might just get communication of it in this, but then you get it shortly thereafter. But definitely a lot of abundant energy coming in for you, Aquarius. Woohoo! All right. And then lastly, but not leastly, we've got our Pisces energy. And we got, well, here you go. High Priestess energy. Very, very Piscean, very water signy. So this is a time where you feel kind of pulled back. All this Cancer moon energy definitely activates your deep emotional, energies. And the High Priestess feels this need to step away out of the chaos, go into our High Priestess temple, connect to the spirit realm, look behind the veils, seeing things from a different perspective outside of what's going on in the world, what's behind what's going on in the world. And then diving deep into the emotions, deep into the understanding, to the subconscious. And very transformative period of time here. A lot of hidden things revealed about oneself. And I feel like this is very nurturing and self-reflective energy that's going on here that allows you to, in the coming months after this Cancer season, to come down out of the High Priestess temple and share the wisdom and the awareness that you gleaned during that period. So I love this for you, and that is what they have for you, Pisces, and that's what they have for everyone here. So thank you guys again so much. This is the messages for this Cancer Sun season. And if you're interested in diving deeper with me, I do offer a few different options. I do have YouTube channel memberships. We get together on Thursdays, both levels. I have a Zen Cricket at $2.99 a month, Praying Mantis at $7.99 a month, and we get together for 2-3 hours, sometimes 4, for unlimited tarot readings. We've got oracle readings, past life readings, and talk astrology, whatever we want. Then my Praying Mantis members, we do have after my Friday and Saturday night live sessions and my Sunday afternoon live sessions, we do have at least an hour together with our Praying Mantis members. There's a link down in the description box if you're interested in all that. I do go live on Friday and Saturday nights at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, Saturday and Sunday afternoons at 11 a.m. Mountain Time for free readings. Donations do get priority doing those, but I do offer all those readings if you'd like to join us then as well. I also have a ton of free content that I put out every month. We've got new moon and full moon readings. We've got when the sun changes signs. We've got all the portals, the Zen Gate portals, like 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. We got monthly quest videos that talk about how to live our lives in the 4 different areas, even the ethereal, so the 5 elements like we have in that compass reading. We have weekly Zen Bytes that talk about little short videos on how we can maintain or return to our Zen. And then these quarterly Solstice and Equinox readings too. So I put out all of this every month. All the playlists are listed down in the description box. If you go to my main channel page, it's at the top saying new for 2025. And my Praying Mantis members get advanced access as I record all these and put those out too. And then also I offer personal readings and a special energetic hedge of peace and love. All that is listed down in the description box of the video as well. Also, every Sunday I put out a Riding the Moontide little social media postings that talk about the moon changes that are coming up through the week because the moon changes signs. So, and then any kind of important planetary changes, retrogrades, just so that we're aware of some big energies that are happening each week so we can ride those waves instead of being smacked around by them. That is on the community page of the YouTube, also on Facebook and on Instagram. All that information on those pages are also linked down in the description box of the video. So a lot of free content, a lot of things that we offer just to try to help us have the most enjoyable and smooth human adventures. So remember, as you're going through all those, that every second of every day of your life, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you again, much love. Hang in there. Take care of yourself. Remember, have fun. Because why are we being so serious? All right. I love you guys. We'll see you soon.